That's what made me afraid of closets. Hey guys, this is Rick and welcome to Spit Take. You can find me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @LBRT Social Work. Spit Take is on most social media sites, including Facebook, Instagram, it's spit_takers, Twitter, or now called X, @SpitTakers. We're going to be utilizing YouTube now, @SpitTaker, for clips, reviews, and game streams. We're also working on a website and Linktree where pretty much everything's going to be pretty centralized. And I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Adam. What's going on in your world, buddy?
Oh, not too much. Nice Thursday night. I'm excited to get talking about some things that happened over the weekend. If you'll notice, our good buddy Sam is not on tonight. He had a couple of conflicts, so he'll be joining us next time. But we are doing a kind of shorter episode this week, mainly because we tried a new recording software and it did not work out well. They lost one of the tracks. We've been contacting customer service. It's been 4 days now, and we've had nothing but robot responses. So we're really pissed, and we're back here on Riverside.
I told them to go fuck themselves today.
He did. He told them to go fuck themselves. But you know what? Deservedly so. Deservedly so, because we have not gotten a straight answer from them, and we're pretty sure that this awesome recording we made was lost. Like, I'm pretty sure that's one of the best recordings that we will ever do.
I made some good dick jokes.
Yeah, we talked about blue dicks.
Multicolored dicks.
Yeah, multicolored dicks. But we're back on Riverside, which has been good to us so far, and I don't know why we ever tried to leave it. But what we're going to be talking about today is some of the trailers that got released this week. We're very excited about some of these new movies and shows coming out. One that I'm going to address right now, which is we have not talked about Evil Dead or Bruce Campbell in 2 episodes so far, which is a record for us. Bruce Campbell has a new show called Discontinued, produced by Ryan Reynolds, and his commentary about like past products. It's bringing back some of the other things. I saw something on his Twitter today where I guess tonight's episode, they were talking about Legends of the Hidden Temple, which is a show that I never missed when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. And you got to love Bruce Campbell, just his delivery on everything, how excited he gets about stuff. And just like, he has this like ego, but in real life, he's probably like the nicest person in the world. And some of those videos I've seen of him like prove that. Like, he's just like kind of an overall great person. What do you think?
Yeah, he's a legend and he's one of my heroes, and I will watch him in anything and everything, and I probably have. And of course, what is that show? Remember that show, Jack of All Trades?
Yeah.
I mean, nobody remembers that except for probably us two. He's just a B-movie legend, and so it's just great to. I mean, if he's gonna be doing a show about nostalgia, I will probably check it out because I like nostalgia. That's kind of half of what we do, right? Is nostalgia. So I'm sure we could probably pull some inspiration through that. And Bruce Campbell is just the greatest. Oh, he was in the Doctor Strange. He was selling the pizza balls or whatever.
Yeah. And I guess he's like come out and said that that's not the last time we're going to see him. And I guess it has something to do with like the multiverse. So apparently he's planning to be in more Marvel movies. And essentially they were saying that his character was just an alternate an alternate universe character of the other ones he played, the Maitre D and Spider-Man 2 and
what I'm going to say,
the announcer in Spider-Man 1.
Because I don't know what they were, because there was some kind of announcement where they're pulling the Sonyverse and the Marvelverse together. Mm-hmm. And I was wondering if Bruce Campbell had something to do with that since he was in Spider-Man 1.
It's quite possible. And I think that just him in general, his presence will bring asses to seats. And
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, he's just got such a loyal fan base and everything. Like, so much so that he made a movie called My Name is Bruce that was about him being Bruce Campbell. And it's exaggerated, and they make him look like kind of just this dirtbag for the most part. When again, we know in real life he's not.
Uh-oh.
But the movie was hilarious.
I think you're kind of freezing in and out here.
Am I? Oh well, we'll see. If I am, we'll cut it.
Yeah, I remember. I see. Bruce Campbell was introduced to me. Well, Evil Dead was introduced to me by a friend in high school. And he was obsessed with Bruce Campbell, and he read his autobiography and everything. Like, I was like, how can you be so obsessed with this guy? I did not understand it. But at the same time, I was watching Evil Dead over and over and over again. I don't, and his performance, like Evil Dead 2, is a top 3 movie of mine.
Agreed.
Probably one of the greatest movies I've ever. Like, if you watch it now, you can tell the woman in the Dead by Dawn woman in the basement is a total rubber suit. You know, so it's a little clunky movie, but like
Henrietta, that was her name.
Henrietta, but watching Bruce Campbell go insane, slowly go insane in that movie is magic, because that's really what it is watching this guy just go insane, cutting off his hand, watching him kind of like part of him turn into a deadite, and then the next one, like the first one, he's just like this pussy. And the second one, he goes insane. And then the third one, he turns into a superhero. Then after that, he's kind of a douchebag.
He gets to Ash vs. Evil Dead, which was an amazing show on Stars. It's a shame that it got canceled, and it was just the wrong network for it, I guess. But it's still got 3 seasons, and it's, if you haven't seen that and you like the Evil Dead movies, watch it. It's true to the source material. I did, so first one I saw was Evil Dead 2, and my parents rented it for me when I was a kid. And they were like, oh, it's a comedy movie. And I was watching, I was like, there's a lot of blood in this movie. But it is a comedy, and I think, and like, I don't know this for sure, but I think it's one of the first horror movies that really introduced horror and comedy together in a more serious take. It wasn't a parody, but, you know, it kind of blended the two, and the two kind of go hand in hand really well. And you kind of catch that with some of these movies now, like the best horror movies have comedy built into them. And I don't think it was the first one, but it was definitely probably one of the first memorable ones that was made.
When I think comedy in Evil Dead 2, I think of the slapstick Three Stooges scene with the hand.
The hand, yeah.
That's what I think of. When I think comedy in Evil Dead 2 is Three Stooges. That's when somebody says comedy horror in Evil Dead 2, I think Three Stooges.
Yeah, just he's hitting himself over the head with plates, and the evil hand's just going nuts. But such an awesome movie, and I watch that one every Halloween. I watch at least Evil Dead 2, if not Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, because Evil Dead 2 was kind of a speedrun remake of the first one, and then it gets into the sequel. So it's interesting how they did that, and it had to do with like the rights of the movie and who they belong to.
But the last 2 Evil Dead movies now, they weren't really comedies. They're straight up horrors, kind of like the first one.
They were.
And I actually enjoyed them. See, my wife, who's not really a horror person, if you know my wife, she's more conservative, but she did man up and watch the 2013 one with me, which was really hard to watch. It was kind of torture porn. The newest one was amazing, and it was probably the most blood I've ever seen in a movie, but it was just like you're watching it with your jaw wide open and watching this blood just everywhere. And it was just like, you're just so satisfied with how much blood is in this movie. I've never been so satisfied watching all this blood.
Yeah, I really, I enjoyed that movie too. It was so good. Like when I haven't seen something that lived up to its, its predecessors like that. Like a lot of the movies we've been getting that, are not kind of soft reboots after 20 years, 30 years, 40, whatever. Some of them have been good and they do kind of live up to it. But like that was the first one I've seen in a while that was just like absolutely amazing. Like I really love Ghostbusters Afterlife, but it didn't try to do anything new really. But it was fun to watch. But this one like took it in a different direction. They switched from the rural area out in the woods over to an urban area where they're stuck in an apartment building.
And the woman that played that mom, fucking awesome. She
was great.
And I don't know what they're trying to like connect it all now. Like 2013 was supposed to be a reboot, something new, but like the new one sound like 3 Necronomicons now.
Yeah, so connect all of them.
Well, it's like, and to me, it's like you don't need to do that, but I guess that's okay. I guess I kind of want it continuity in there, but it's kind of like you're trying to force some kind of continuity in Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Now by bringing in 3 it's kind of weird.
So I actually liked it because I like that whole concept that it tied all of them together, and now you're in a world where anything can really happen. And as far as to say, like Bruce Campbell even voices a guy on the recording that's playing who was like, "Why are you releasing that? It's going to kill us all." And everybody's assumption of that is that's Ash in the recording. So his adventures didn't stop. He's back in time at this thing trying to stop them. So there's like a whole nother adventure going on over there. Probably continuing off, like, let's assume continuing off of Ash vs. Evil Dead. But that, and that is kind of the magic of that universe, is kind of the magic that Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell create. And, and I love all the theories behind that. I thought the 3-book thing was interesting because they kind of addressed that a little bit in Ash vs. Evil Dead, because there's another Necronomicon that shows up after one is sent back to hell. And there's like a lot of time jumps and stuff in that. So, I mean, it could be any number of things, but overall the movie was so badass. And I mean, they weren't afraid. They weren't afraid to push the limits.
Great horror movie. Like, it was just a great horror movie that if you just like horror movies, like, and the 2013 one did have an after credits scene where Ash did show up. Now I'm wondering if that was supposed to be for the AMC show or if that was supposed to be, what was that supposed to be?
So they originally, after that had premiered, they had announced a new Evil Dead movie starring Bruce Campbell. They scrapped that, and then they decided to do a TV show. And I don't know, why it was scrapped or whatever, but I think they just thought, hey, we're going to have more fun doing this. So that was their kind of plan. And you know what? I'm happy because instead of 2 hours of Ash, we ended up getting 3 seasons worth. So,
and also, if they're trying to create continuity, does a TV show go into it? Because the end of the TV show was some kind of futuristic wasteland, Mad Max kind of thing,
right,
going on. So what's up with that? Is there some kind of future beyond the new movie, beyond the 2013 movie now?
So if I remember correctly, at the end of the 3rd season, he was trapped in this box, and it was years and years in the future, and the Dark Ones had taken over. So that was taking place all in the future,
right?
So it's like, all right, this future could still happen. These things could still happen, and I'm so upset we didn't get that 4th season because Bruce Campbell was talking about how wild it would have been. It would have been an expensive production, but it was like, he said it was going to be like basically futuristic steampunk, like just wild ride. So
now, have you ever seen the alternate ending to Army of Darkness?
I have.
Okay, where he goes too far into the future. Now I'm wondering if there was some kind of homage to that too.
Well, so it could be. So recently they announced that the new comic book series starring Ash takes place in that universe. So basically there was
that could be like some kind of alternate universe too. Yeah.
Right. So the comic books all followed that universe. The TV show followed the actual ending that they used.
But wasn't there a video game? What, one of the video games supposed to fall into the?
I don't know if the video games are canon.
There was one video game that was supposed to be canon. There was one video game that was like followed, like that just had like elements of all the Evil Dead movies in there.
Yeah.
Well, one video game that was like canon. So yeah. But then they probably ignored it later on,
They kind of hit on it during the show and hint at like he had other adventures. It wasn't just like Army of Darkness was the end of it. They kind of hinted that there was more that he had done, because he brings up some other stuff that he had done. Because it was, and they had trouble getting the rights to Army of Darkness for the show. So when they were doing season 1 and season 2, they don't mention it at all. When they get into season 3, I think, or maybe it was in season 2 is when they finally were able to mention anything, but they couldn't get the rights to it. Was the case there. So they kind of just made it seem like they went straight from Evil Dead 2, which doesn't make any sense because he travels back in time. But they kind of made it seem like he came back from the cabin, and then the town called him Ashy Slashy, and then that's when he left. So I think they had to play with it a little bit until they could get the rights to officially acknowledge the existence of Army of Darkness.
I wish they would, though, they have the Evil Dead game, the recent one, where
it's good.
Yeah, I wish they would do like a horror game. You know what I mean? Where something like where you're stuck in the apartment or something like that. Like some kind of horror survivor, kind of like Resident Evil type of thing.
They kind of have some of those. They're like on Steam. They're usually like $10. There's a lot of indie developers who have made games like that. They're actually kind of fun. I mean, I don't think it's quite exactly like Evil Dead, but
yeah. But I would like an Evil Dead universe.
Yes,
horror survival, like better than the ones that have been done.
Mm-hmm.
Really well established in the universe, like not even with Ash or anything, but like its own, like someone raised the dead, and these people just kind of walk into it and they're like, I don't know what's going on, and then these people die and they're like, holy shit, what's going on? And then like they have to survive. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that might be kind of cool. Just like they don't know what the hell's going on, and there's these demons after or these demons after them.
Yeah, well, and I actually, after we got done talking last night, I actually went out and I was playing the Evil Dead game with my brother and our friend Nick, and we got a couple of rounds in, and that game is endlessly fun, and I could play that over and over again. Like, there's no limit to it. It's the 4-versus-1 game. It's incredible. I have not stopped playing that game since it came out. I'll go some long periods just because I don't have anybody to play with, but I could pick it up and play it anytime.
Yeah, I haven't played that I did play that, and I did have fun with it.
Yeah, good time.
I mean,
bloody.
I think I just got so many games going. I've been playing that Starfield. I think I played that for about 2 or 3 days straight. Even I do have, and that is a conversation we need to have. I do have gripes, but I have had fun with it, and I'm playing like 5 other games. So I do need to go back and check that out again, though.
Yeah. Awesome. So, Discontinued. It's, I think they've aired a couple episodes already starring Bruce Campbell. Check it out if you get a chance. Again, Bruce Campbell, you're our legend. You're our hero. Keep doing what you do. Let's jump into another trailer, Fallout. I got a half chub on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, dude, like when I saw that trailer, all I could think was, I was like, I'm watching a live action version of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not one of the, video game movies or shows where you see it and you're like, oh, cool, they did this crazy adaptation of it. But like, no, this looks like the Fallout universe. The set designs are amazing. The costumes are amazing. Walter Goggins is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And just that little scene with him just blasting people as the ghoul, man, badass. And I'm so excited to see that show. And I think even people who are not fans of the game are going to absolutely love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it looks exactly like the game. I think I think it takes place in Santa Monica or something like that.
Yeah,
I think we talked about it in our Lost episode. Now, I think Sam had more knowledge. That's why I'm kind of trying to look up. It's like in some vault in like L.A. or Santa Monica.
I think it's Vault 33 in Santa Monica.
33. It stars a woman or like some girl's a star, and but like, you look at it and it's indistinguishable from the game, which that they're taking care of the show. And I mentioned this during the Lost episode, and we're gonna start calling it the Lost episode now. Eventually, those shitbags will get our Lost episode out there. Like, this is how the Halo show should have been taken care of, because those people who made the Halo show said they never even played the game. And this game, you could tell, because I actually started playing the original Fallout game, and the original Fallout game, the intro exactly like the intro in Fallout 3, New Vegas, Fallout 4, like it's all the same. And then you watch the TV show, you look at the the series trailer and everything, it looks exactly the same as one. So it, like, if you're a fan of the game, you're probably going to be a fan of what they're doing with the show, it looks like. So it just looks like what they're doing with games right now, video game shows right now is amazing, right? Like The Last of Us did pretty good, I'd say. What other shows have been coming out? There's been a couple video game shows that actually
The Witcher.
The Witcher, not the
which was technically a book,
not the newest season apparently, but there's been a couple pretty good video game shows that actually Twisted Metal.
Yes.
I know you haven't seen that yet, but the show is fucking stellar. Samoa Joe as Sweet Tooth, freaking great. I highly recommend. I sat down and binged it in probably, I think it's like 10 episodes like that. I binged it in 10 hours because I couldn't stop watching it. So what they're doing with video games right now, video game shows, I think like people are seeing that what fans want because people are losing money from putting out shit quality like comic book movies and shows.
Resident Evil, yeah.
Like Resident Evil, like for some reason can't get it right, even though the freaking material's right there. Just like it's right there. Like right. Why can't you make a good Silent Hill? Like, actually I didn't mind Silent
I like Silent Hill.
The first one, the second one was shit. But still, the first Silent Hill wasn't as good as it could be. I'm sorry. I still liked it. They are making a new Silent Hill based off Silent Hill 2, which is the best Silent Hill. But yes, the Fallout series looks like it's going to be great, and that's actually absolutely the number one thing I am looking forward to in 2024. 2024 looks like it's going to be a great year. I can't believe it's already 2024.
Well, and if you're listening and you're not familiar with the Fallout games, and unfortunately Sam's not here to address this because he was the leading force behind this in the last episode. So basically what Fallout is a game where basically the style never advanced past 1950s. But like technology advanced, and there's like 1950s cars with like nuclear engines on them, for example. There's robot butlers and helpers. And essentially what happens is the end of the world, there's big nuclear war that goes on, and people survive by going down into these vaults. And the vaults are all actually experiments. So everybody down in the vaults has some kind of different experiment being done on them. Like one of them is a cryo freeze one, which was featured in Fallout 4. I forget what the experiment was in Fallout 3. And then but you can explore different vaults throughout the wasteland, and you can learn all of its secrets and what was going on. Like one of them had people just like tied to this machine, and they were in this virtual world, which is one of my favorite parts of Fallout 3 when you go and find your dad. Super awesome. But anyways, the game it's an open world. You run around, level up, get perks, do all this cool stuff. You get awesome weapons. You have little mini nukes and everything. It's great. And style-wise,
game. If it's one of the greatest games, if you I don't, they need a new one because I can't tell you to go play Fallout and expect you to enjoy it because it's been a while. I don't know if you'll enjoy Fallout 76. It's kind of open there. Some people like it, some people don't. Fallout 4's been a couple of years. But I'd say Fallout 4, you could probably go out and enjoy it if you played it now, if you haven't played it. But it is like Fallout New Vegas is probably one of the greatest games ever.
It is. And voiced by Benny in that game, the bad guy in the beginning anyways, voiced by Matthew Perry.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Fallout is just unmatched style-wise. Like there's no other game that comes close to matching the feel and just the excitement of that game. And I mean, it's so immersive that in Fallout 4, you can build your own homestead, you can build houses and everything. So you'll sit there.
Oh, a fighting arena for monsters.
Yeah. So here's the crazy thing about that game is every time I play it, and this is why I was like, I need to fucking stop trying to build settlements, is because I would go in and I'd start building and I wouldn't stop 4 or 5 hours have gone by and I haven't played any of the game. I haven't done any of the story. I've been building my goddamn house this whole time and making it all super cool with disco balls and stuff. Like, you just get so lost in this game because it's so immersive.
You know what I would do? I'd actually build like sets for my suits. I would like build like all these cases. I'd use build like a museum. You'd have the what is it? The Brotherhood suits and all that stuff. What are they called? The armor suit.
Yeah.
I'd like collect
Power suits.
I collect all of them, and then I'd have all the cases that I just built, and like you could just walk through and just pick whatever you want. Like you organize it and everything. It's just crazy what you can like create in that.
Yeah. So I mean, the show looks amazing. We've seen some behind the scenes photos. We've seen the trailer now. Again, costume sets, everything looks so authentic to the show. So I'm looking forward to it, and I hope this isn't one of those podcasts where we're going to go back and listen to this and be like, God damn it, we were so fucking wrong.
No, no, they got it. You can tell they got it right.
Because I hear that sometimes when I listen to some other like pop culture podcasts that I have in my list, and they're talking about like, yeah, like, oh, I saw this trailer, I can't wait to see what they do, and I'm like, you poor dumb bastards, like you have no idea what you're in for, So,
do you think anybody's watching that show, that trailer, and saying this sucks? This is gonna suck?
No, absolutely not.
One person that plays Fallout is saying, "Oh, fuck this."
But did they just make a good trailer?
I don't know.
I don't think so. But
set pieces that look like that.
I don't know how, but we'll see. We'll see.
Maybe the story sucks.
Maybe it does.
Maybe the story's horrible.
But it's got Walter Goggins, so we're just gonna roll with it.
The Shield, baby.
It's automatically good.
Just is being it too.
Yeah. What's he doing?
The commission. I don't know.
He last time I saw him was in American Horror Story. I think it was season 4 with Freak Show. That was the last time I saw him, where he was like the strong man and gay or something. I don't know, but he that was the last time I've seen him in anything.
I've just seen him in The Shield.
Yeah,
that was a great show.
Yeah, he was also in that show about that superpowered family.
Oh, he was. There was what was that?
God damn it. I don't know. It only lasted, I don't even think it made it through the full first season, but it had Julie Benz in it, Michael Chiklis. God damn it. Now I don't remember what it is.
I'm going to look it up.
I don't know.
Michael Chiklis superhero. Yeah, there's one open. No Ordinary Family.
That's it. Which was I thought it was a fairly decent show, but I guess
I don't even know if I ever even watched it. I just remember it was there.
I remember I watched a few episodes of it and I thought it was pretty good. And then when it got canceled, I was like, okay. I remember thinking like,
oh, he was the Thing in Fantastic Four.
He was the Thing in Fantastic Four.
What a horrible movie.
Yeah, I never saw the reboot. I heard it was even worse.
It was terrible. I watched it like years later, even though I knew it was going to be terrible, and still watched it.
Yeah,
just because of
whatever. It is what it is.
Benz was hot. Sorry, because she was in wasn't she in
Dexter?
Dexter, yeah.
And Angel.
Yeah, Angel. Angel had the best music.
It did. I've been meaning to like go back and watch that show, but I'm like, I gotta watch some new shows.
What was it? Buffy, Rockstar. I watched all episodes. Like they have on Amazon. They have a Hunters like series with all the
do they
Spike and everything coming back for something. I was thinking about looking at. I wish they, but I thought they were gonna come up with a new series because they had the original cast and everything.
I read a couple of the comic books, the Fallout comic books after the shows ended, which were pretty good. I liked them. But we'll have to get my sisters on the show at some point to talk about Buffy because they're huge nerds with it.
Great.
And it's funny because like they were trying to make my wife watch that musical episode because they were like, oh, it's the best episode of Buffy. I'm like, it's okay. Like, I was like, I enjoyed it when it came out. I was like, as far as musical episodes go, and this is going to be a topic one day, musical episodes, TV shows, but I don't think it's the best. and I'm going to reserve my opinion of what is the best.
Musical episode. I'm not taking part in that.
See, I love musical episodes if they're done well. Like the Scrubs one was pretty good.
I think they're annoying. They're wasting my
Scrubs
time.
one was pretty good. The Lucifer one was good.
Lots of wrong along anything. You just like you're wasting my time.
I like the Lucifer one. I like the Scrubs one. Those were two really good ones. I'd have to go look at my list to see what they all are, but for some reason that's the one that they always try to introduce people to, and it throws the wrong opinion on the show or wrong image of the show.
There's not too many musicals. I'm not really into musicals. Like Across the Universe,
That was a good movie.
I mean, a couple things. Hamilton, a couple things I'll watch. I know it's woke, but
See, I like musicals. I'm a fan. Sweeney Todd was awesome. I really like that one.
I just watched The Office. Episode.
Yeah. Sweet no. So have you have you seen the Sweeney Todd movie with Johnny Depp?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's really good.
I don't really care about musicals.
It's good though. Like I think I was at a point where I didn't really like musicals back then, and I watched this one and I really liked it. I even bought it.
But Phantom, I'm
Watched it.
I'm a straight white male.
Debatable.
On Fridays. It's
Yeah.
Thursday right now, baby.
It's Thursday. Be Friday soon.
Man, love Thursday.
Somehow we got off track from Fallout over to musicals, but let's jump into the next topic. All right. So Alien Romulus. They've had a lot of announcements, no trailers yet. But I'm looking forward to that one. Timothy Olyphant is part of the series now, big Justified fan. And I think, when you put a big name like Timothy Olyphant, I don't feel like he just takes anything. I feel like he really thinks about what he wants to be a part of. So I have high hopes for Alien Romulus because we haven't had a really good Alien movie in some time. I would say that the last good Alien movie was Aliens. Alien 3 was okay. Alien Resurrection was terrible. Alien vs. Predator, bad. Alien Requiem, bad. Actually, I didn't hate Alien Requiem, but there's parts of it I don't really care for. And then, what do we have? Prometheus, which was just kind of a prequel that didn't make any sense. And then you had the last one, which was Alien Covenant, which, again, didn't make any sense with any of the timeline. But it's been a while since we've had a good just Alien movie. And it's so crazy because Alien is such a diverse franchise. Because you look at the first Alien movie, and it was a survival horror movie. The second movie was kind of survival horror, but it was more ass-kicking. Like, there were hundreds of aliens versus the Marines. And they were, like, fighting to survive on that planet. And LB-461, I think is what it was.
Which one was Newton? Which one was Newton?
Second one, Alien.
Second one, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But just, like, two great movies. And I think the second one was James Cameron. And, just moving...
Didn't the third one suck?
Yeah, the third one wasn't good. That was on the prison planet.
Yeah.
And the fourth one had to do with cloning and stuff. And it was kind of, it had Ron Perlman and Winona Ryder. That was kind of the only redeeming qualities was their characters. And even Winona Ryder wasn't that great, but Ron Perlman was the man. If the movie had been about him fighting aliens versus having this cloning thing going on with Ripley and stuff, I could have probably been down with it. But yeah, Alien Romulus looks good. It's taking place between the events of the first Alien movie and Aliens, the second movie. It's got a lot of actors that I'm not familiar with, minus Timothy Olyphant at this
They
point.
all look like children except for Timothy Olyphant, first of all.
Yeah. Well, and they haven't released a lot of details about it, so I don't know what it's about yet. From the sound of it, they're going to be
in between, it's supposed to be in between the first and second one or something, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I said. It's between
you
the
got
first and
that? Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm handicapped, so.
Yeah, sure.
But,
Okay. Still love you.
I love Timothy Olyphant. The first time I seen him was Kelly in Girl Next Door.
Yeah.
He was a complete badass in that. And then, ever since I seen him, because he was just a badass in that, and it's I want to be that guy. And then ever since then, it's I just loved him in everything. And then he's it was in The Office when he was the salesman. It's Kelly all grown up. That's Kelly when he's I gotta grow up now.
Yeah. Well, and the same thing. I saw him in The Girl Next Door. That was the first time I really noticed him, but I guess he had done Scream 2 before that. which I had seen, but I didn't recognize him as a part of anything or that
I'm not
particular.
sure.
But in any case, he's like his character in that movie was just so good,
It was awesome.
and you love him. You love to hate him too because he's just this porn producer who's this scumbag, but like his lines are the best.
Like punch the dude, and then you love him the next second.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's make with the fucky. He's just so fucking wild in that movie.
Fucker for me. If we don't fuck him, I'm gonna kill myself.
That was such a good movie. I haven't seen that one for.
That was a great movie. I was on deployment. I was on Army deployment when that came out. I think we watched that like 100 times.
Yeah, Elisha Cuthbert in her prime, and of course, her being stunning as hell.
Yeah, I think she pissed off Hollywood and disappeared.
She did. She was on that show, The Ranch, with Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah,
she was on that show for a little bit. I think she was on for the duration of it, but I almost didn't recognize her at first because, like, I'm just so used to thinking about her as the girl next door.
Well, I think she was friends with, like, she was in the in crowd with somebody, and then where she was able to get in on shows and stuff like that, and she fell out of that crowd and then wasn't able to get shows.
There was a lot of stuff that they wanted her to do, but that she had these morals that said, like, hey, I'm not doing that. And I remember reading an article with her, like they were producers coming up to her, telling her, like, hey, we want you to be like topless in this movie or whatever. And she was like, absolutely not. And so I think she started, good for her. She started getting a bad name in Hollywood, though, because she was refusing to be like, hey, I'm going to sell this movie with my sexuality. And she's good for her to do that. I think it did take a toll on her career, though, unfortunately. I can't say for sure that that's what it was, but I know I was reading about that, and she was turning down a lot of parts because they wanted her to be a sex object, and she was like, no, I want to be an actress.
Why didn't she get Me Too?
Yeah, right.
Why didn't she all Me Too then?
Well, because it was for a movie. Well, I mean, I assume it was for a movie part.
Right.
Yeah. But anyways, but like we miss you, Elisha. We like you.
Alicia.
I can say things. It's just late. That's all. We miss you, Alicia. Her and Katherine Heigl.
Yeah, Katherine Heigl got screwed over too.
Yeah, she got blacklisted from Hollywood.
Yeah.
And if she was like an up and comer, they thought she was going to be the next American sweetheart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but didn't she make a little comeback? And
she did. Like, she was on Grey's Anatomy for a while, which I never watched. So I'm just familiar with.
I used to watch that. I used to watch Grey's Anatomy every night and cried every fucking episode.
Another Jeffrey Dean Morgan show.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that in this episode. That was in the lost episode. We went on a big long talk about Jeffrey Dean Morgan and his career. But back to Katherine Heigl. Loved her in Knocked Up. She was so great in that.
Wasn't she in The Ringer?
She was in The Ringer. She was great in The Ringer. Hopefully, maybe coincidentally, The Ringer came out around the same time as the South Park episode that did basically the same thing and had Cartman do it.
Cartman. Yeah, Cartman with Timmy.
Yeah. He's wearing like the helmet and everything.
Was that with Jimmy too?
Yeah, Jimmy, he's on steroids. Jimmy's on steroids and everything, and he's like beating his like girlfriend and his mom, and God, that show was so wild. So wild. I love it.
I was watching South Park. What's the Dream movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and all that?
Oh, Inception.
I was watching the Inception South Park.
Mm-hmm.
They're all in Mr. Mackey's dream, and the pizza guy comes in. He's like, "Somebody order a pizza? Oh, they must have ordered it from the dream." He goes, "I'm doing it." I haven't slept for 4 days, so I was like up at like 1 a.m. watching South Park, and coincidentally, it was an Inception episode.
And then like the whole thing turns out to be Mr. Mackey getting like molested by Hootie the Owl.
Yeah.
Give a hoot, tell Paloo.
Oh, I love it.
It's the best, man. It's the best. We'll talk more about South Park later on because I love that show so much.
Mm-hmm.
But Alien Romulus, we're coming back to it. Yes, I do want to see Alien Romulus. I want to see more about what it's going to be, but I'm here for it because I am a big fan of the Alien franchise.
Mm-hmm.
read the comics, some of the books and everything. And of course, Sigourney Weaver being the lead character in the first 4 movies. I am in love with Sigourney Weaver and never will stop. So, anything else about Alien Romulus from you?
No, I'm probably a bigger Alien guy than Predator. I think you're probably a bigger Predator person than me.
I'm trying to think about how to phrase it the right way. I love Predator. Predator is I always want to say, yeah, I'm a Predator.
I mean, I love the first one with like Arnold and what's his name?
Jesse Ventura.
Jesse Ventura and who else? Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers. Thank God. Okay. Yeah, Carl Weathers. He's awesome. And like that was just a powerhouse team, and that movie made the most sense out of any Predator movie.
The first one was great, and he's like, get through the chopper, and he got the mud all over him.
Yeah. He goes full primal to take on the Predator.
Yeah.
Which kind of like is cool, because I didn't really think about it too much before when I watched the newest one, Prey. Like that there's kind of that transition right there where like the primal fight takes place and seems to be more effective than like the technology. And I liked Prey. I thought it was a good movie. I thought they did a good job with that one.
I didn't hate it. I didn't like it.
The part though where
I thought the special effects weren't the best.
Yeah, see, I liked them. I thought they were good.
I thought special effects might as well have been the first one. At points of it.
Well, so like the part where he kills the bear and holds it up over his head, that was cool.
Kind of bad.
Huh?
I thought that was kind of bad.
Yeah. See, I like that. I thought it was kind of neat. And then, but like the part where he's killing all the French dudes.
Yeah.
That was cool. Where he's like slow motion, like killing them. It was like a scene from 300, except it was Predator, just like massacring people. That was really cool. I thought they did a good job playing with the suspense in there. And it had a lot of feels like the first movie did. But I love the Predator franchise too. The Alien vs. Predator games, I'm a huge fan. I think Alien vs. Predator 2 was the first multiplayer shoot 'em up game I ever played. Let me take that back. GoldenEye was the first one I ever played where you had like a cool multiplayer like versus game. But Alien vs. Predator 2, I think, was the first computer game I ever played in that kind of like online, really. So, and I've always loved the games. They're tons of fun. Did you ever play Ghost Recon?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Ghost
together with the 2019 one.
Did we play together? Maybe we did.
Yeah, I think. Well,
I know I played with Sam for a little bit.
I wanted to play with you. Maybe you never played with me because you're a douchebag.
It could be. You know.
But thing we haven't talked about with Alien in this episode, the chest burst scene.
Oh my God! Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Well, let's talk about that because Alien was the first horror movie I had ever seen, and that scene scared the shit out of me for like a good 6 months straight. I dreamed about that scene. So I was like maybe 10 or 11 years old watching it at my neighbor's house. And like we're watching and like the facehugger scene comes. Okay, cool. It jumped to him. It's on him. Oh no, that's scary. Like it fell out of the sky. And then they go to the chest burster scene where, I can't remember his name, but, God, tip of my tongue. Anyways, so he's, the chest burster comes out and I freaked out. My hands on my face just clawing like, oh my God, it terrified the shit out of me. Like we turned off the movie. It took me a little bit to go back and finish that movie because it scared the fuck out of me.
That when you see something like that, because I was a kid when I've seen it too. It wasn't because at that point, like I've already seen a bunch of creepy stuff. I've watched the blood come out of the elevator in what's that movie? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Shining.
The Shining. I've seen in Critters 2 where the critter eats the dude in the Easter Bunny suit inside out. I've seen maggots come out of meat and poltergeist. Like I've seen a bunch of sick stuff. But still, when you're seeing something like that and you're like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, well, 10's not as bad. But when you're like 7, 5, 6, 7 years old, your brain does not know how to comprehend that stuff, and you're trying to figure stuff out. And it's just a different. It's like it's just a weird feeling seeing that kind of thing.
Well, and I John Hurt was his name, by the way. Again, rest in peace, John Hurt, who I always loved. But
he was in Doctor Who. He was one
yeah.
of.
Well, and that, so what's crazy, and I'm sure if you're an Alien fan, you've read this before. None of the cast knew this was going to happen. They were like getting to the scene, and they had basically the entire cast except for John Hurt leave the set, and John Hurt was put like on this like dummy body basically, and they brought everybody back, because they had basically gotten to the part where he was like having some kind of convulsion. So they had him come back, and he's like on there and everything, and they're like continue the scene. Everybody's reactions is genuinely real because they had no idea what was about to happen. They experienced that in real life. I would have lost my goddamn mind. Like, it was, and that's incredible when you watch it and you see the reactions being real. And I love when they do that in movies. I'm sure the actors get so pissed off about it, but for me, it's entertaining. The scene where John McClane drops Alan Rickman,
Hans Gruber,
right off the building. Like, they said they were going to let him go on 3, and they let him go on. Yeah, and they let him go on 2. And so that was a genuine reaction from Alan Rickman.
Lana watched that with me the other day, first time.
Great movie, great Christmas movie.
It's in December 1st or 2nd, I watch Elf and Die Hard, and that's how I kick off the holiday season every year.
Yep. But yeah, that was a terrifying scene that left me having nightmares for a little while. But I did finish the movie probably a year later, and I've been in love with it ever since. It just holds a special place in my heart, being the first horror movie I ever watched. And I will never say no to watching that movie.
It's a good movie. I've probably seen it 1,000 times, and I probably, I'm horrible with remembering stuff. It's just like, for some reason, some things I remember very specifically. Alien is not one of those things I remember specifically. Obviously, Adam does.
Oh yeah,
not me. Specific thing like Evil Dead, I remember things specifically. I don't know why. Die Hard, I'm sitting here watching it. I'm quoting it. My wife's looking at me like I'm weird because I'm quoting it before it's happening. Alien, I probably couldn't do that. I don't know why. Some things I can, some things I can't. I don't know, because I've seen Alien 1,000 times. I love watching Alien. I probably, if I'm sitting here, like if we're sitting here watching Alien, I'm probably like, oh, the scene's registering. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. But if like we're sitting here talking about it, I don't know I can't tell you exactly what's happening. So, anyway, since we're just real quick, since we're talking first horror movie, or first horror movie alone, Poltergeist, when the closet sucks in the house, that's what made me afraid of closets and the dark. And to this day, I have to sleep with the closet door closed, and I'm afraid of the dark still.
Yeah, you came out of the closet.
41-year-old man.
Yep. Yeah. We and then I think really what?
Nothing.
No. And I think the last trailer we can talk about today is The Boys. I think that's the last one we got time for. The Boys. I am super excited for that. Huge fan. I finished Gen V. I've seen the first 3 seasons. Is it 3 seasons? Yeah, because we're going to The Boys season 4. And it looks so dark. Like Homelander, when you look at his face, like at the very end of that trailer, and he's smiling covered in blood, like it gives you this eerie feeling. But just the trailer itself, it looks chaotic. It looks wild. I hope we get to see more of Soldier Boy. Jensen Ackles did a great job in that part. Not sure if we'll get to see him again, because at the end of, well, I'm not going to spoil anything, but not sure if we'll see him again, but I hope we do. But they've done such a good job with the world building in that show, between both that and Gen V. And I was worried Gen V was just going to be, another The Boys, but it just takes place in The Boys universe. It has a completely different story. And I really like Gen V because of what they did with it, because they didn't even just like take it and say, oh, we're doing this, it's in college, blah, 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 like all soups are evil. They did they showed, like, as they're going to the superhero university, a lot of those people are going there to become heroes. Like, that's what they want to be, is heroes when they go there. And the college ends up jading them. And like the environment they're in, the social, social networks that they're in are just teaching them to be like shitty people. or shitty superheroes, I should say. But the core group that you're following, they try to stay true to themselves, trying to stay true to being heroes, and of course they get fucked for it in the end. But I really like that show, and the first season of Gen V is going to lead into this season of The Boys, and I'm here for it. I love the disgusting bloodiness of that show. It takes it a step over the line sometimes, but not too far that I don't want to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Homelander. He's one of the most horrifying bad guys of all time. I think Omni-Man kind of takes the cake on that, though. I know you haven't watched Invincible, which
A little bit. I've seen a little bit of it.
I highly recommend. I've watched the first 4 episodes of the new season. Highly freaking recommend watching Invincible. Yes, I do want to see more Soldier Boy, Jensen Ackles. Like, I want to see Jensen Ackles in more things in general. Like,
Yeah.
why is he not just in more things, for crying out loud?
Yeah. I was going to say, now that Supernatural's over, hopefully we'll see him in more.
Yeah, it's been over for a while, though. I'm looking at this article. It says Simon Pegg's in it.
The Boys?
Will feature the return of Jack Quaid, Laz Alonso. Oh, we know that. Simon Pegg, Cameron Cravetti. Was Simon Pegg already in the show?
Yeah, he's the dad of Huey.
Okay.
Whose character was actually written originally with Simon Pegg in mind.
Okay.
But he got too old to play the part.
Maybe I don't remember. I don't remember seeing Simon Pegg. Which
he doesn't have a lot of.
This is one of those things. Like, we're talking about. I don't remember. I start watching it, then I'll remember everything. That's just how I am. I know there was some new characters that they shown in it too. Which every time they bring up new characters, they're usually pretty good. And that's another thing. Like, it's really interesting to see what these new characters will be, what their powers will be, what their arc will be. So it'll be interesting to see that. Will they die? I know you said the other day that you thought you seen May, but I know it might have been a different character. I can't remember who that was. That probably was, but I know there was a new character, and I was trying to find her, but I can't find her name.
Yeah, I'd have to watch the trailer again to remember.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's been like a week since I seen the trailer.
Right.
So I can't quite remember everything on it. I'm still like 5.5 episodes in the Gen V. Don't think it's bad. Not blown away by it. I mean, The Boys is just, vulgar, violent show. And the biggest thing to me is it's just an interesting story. I'm not into vulgar shows. I'm not into overly violent, gory shows, but I'm interested in good stories. That's just me personally. If it's got to be overly gory, that's just not for me. If it's just like a quick gore, like Evil Dead, right? Like all that one, like if it's creative, if it's creative stuff,
somewhat comedic.
Yeah, if it's comedic, if it's creative, I'm into that. If it's just like being vulgar for the sake of being vulgar, I'm just like, I don't really care. Like there's this movie about these dogs that's supposed to be, it's on Peacock right now, and me and my wife started watch it, and it had like, I forget who was playing them, but it was supposed to be funny, and we're watching this, and it was just like these 2 dogs just being vulgar, and it's like he decided he's gonna bite off Will Arnett's dick. Not Will Arnett. What's the he plays McGruber. You know what actor that he used to be on Saturday?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Like, it's like, okay, he's gonna bite off his dick. Ha ha ha! That's funny. Like, no, that's not funny. It's kind of douchey. Like, that's the whole arc of the show. Yeah, that's just vulgar. Like, that's not like who are you like? Who's that appeal to? So I think for me, it's like some of The Boys is just trying to be vulgar. But the actual storyline's interesting.
Yeah, and it is fun to watch, and I do enjoy The Boys, and I like the kind of back and forth between Homelander and Karl Urban. That's just so great between the two of them. That's kind of like it's the Batman Joker dynamic.
I will say I like Karl Urban's character because he's kind of like me.
Yeah.
I think I relate to his character where it's like, I don't give a fuck who you are. Kind of thing going on.
He's so good in that show. And I mean, he's good in everything he does. And I want to see more of him in everything. He's going to be Luke Cage. Luke Cage in the new Mortal Kombat movie.
Luke Cage?
Yeah.
Is he going to be a good Luke Cage? Karl Urban?
He's going to be Luke Cage. That's all I know.
I do not see that. How old is he?
Fuck, I don't know.
He's in his 50s.
Yeah, well, he's going to be Luke Cage, so.
Luke Cage, yeah. Black, and he's a Marvel character.
No, who am I thinking of?
Johnny Cage?
Johnny Cage. That's what I meant. He's Johnny Cage.
I was like, that's weird. Listen, I hate it when they...
Listen, 10 o'clock on a Thursday night, okay? Listen.
Race and comic book character. I don't see him as Johnny Cage yet. That's like Pedro Pascal. Yeah. Mr. Fantastic. I'm not a fan. I don't think I'm a fan.
See, it's Karl Urban, so I'm going to give it to him because he's given me nothing but joy in my life.
He wasn't RoboCop either.
Was he RoboCop?
I'm pretty sure he was, wasn't he?
No, I don't think he was RoboCop. Was he?
He was the reboot of RoboCop.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It was terrible.
Why don't I remember that?
Because it wasn't good.
I saw that movie and I feel like I would have remembered him.
Yeah, it wasn't good. He was good. He was good in Star Trek, bro.
He was good in Star Trek. He was good in Dredd. I like Dredd. I think it was a very underrated movie.
Oh, maybe it was Dredd. I'm thinking no,
yeah,
Dredd. I'm stupid.
But Dredd was awesome. I love Dredd. Yeah, I was like, he was not a RoboCop because I fucking hated that movie.
Hey, how about you cut that out?
The first,
we're cutting all that out. Mark that out.
Okay, marked. Okay. Yeah, no, but I mean, he's done so many good things. Okay, Doom. I'll give you that one. Not a good movie. Let's see. Oh, he was in the new Pete's Dragon movie. That's crazy.
There's a Pete's.
I'm like looking through his IMDb right now. Heyman X Vengeance, Thor Ragnarok. Oh yeah, he was good in that. Oh, he was a stormtrooper in The Rise of Skywalker. Let's see. Yeah, Gen V, the boys. But yeah, I mean, there's not a lot I didn't like that he's been in. The Almost Human TV show that only got 13 episodes was good. Not good enough to stay on the air at Fox, but it was good.
To be fair, you called him Luke Cage.
I did call him Luke Cage. But
the new RoboCop did suck.
It did suck. It was bad.
I don't even know who Johnny Kinnaman is.
Yeah. Oh, why do I know that name?
Johnny Kinnaman. I know him.
Yeah.
I know him.
He's been in a few things.
I don't think.
Yeah. All right. Well, in any case, we're all over the place here. Luke Cage, Johnny Cage. He is playing Johnny Cage in the new Mortal Kombat movie. And I don't know how they're going to do. Because here's the problem with Mortal Kombat. The first one that the one they just made recently.
Yeah, I was going to say, is this going to go off of the new one?
Yes.
Okay.
It does a direct sequel.
Okay.
So my problem with the new one was that they started the first 10 minutes of the movie with something so badass and so awesome and everything we wanted to see in Mortal Kombat, and then it all went downhill from there. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I watched it. It was decent enough that I watched it a couple of times, and I'm going to watch the sequel. But like, if they had just given us more of that story of Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and what we had in that first 10 minutes, and not just gone like kind of wild with it, it would have been such a good movie. And that's so disappointing. Because I was so excited when they released that trailer, and it was just like that whole scene basically, before the movie was released. And I was like, this is going to be the best movie ever. And it was not. They did good with Goro though. I like Goro. They thought they did okay with him. The fight between Sub-Zero and Scorpion at the end of the movie was awesome. This Cole character, I don't know why they had to make up a Cole character when they have 100 characters to choose from that the movie could have been about. But anyways, we'll see what they do with the second one.
I don't remember caring about it. I don't remember really giving a crap. I know I watched it. I don't remember caring about it.
Again, didn't hate it, didn't love it. Watched it.
That's what I'm saying.
Twice.
If I hated it, I would have known I hated it.
Yeah. It was just, it was kind of white noise for the most part. But yeah, I mean, some of the movie was really, really good. and it's like you wish you had more of that. Kano, I remember Kano being like the best character in that movie. He was awesome. But well, yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't even really want to talk about Mortal Kombat 2 because it's too far out for me to give a shit.
And I want to know when they're going to do a sequel to Kristen Krug's Legend of Chun-Li.
I remember watching that shit in Afghanistan and just being, what is this goddamn shithole of a movie? Like, I watched
they made that?
Yeah, I know. Well, and that's what bothers me is they had such good actors in that movie, and like, and I was in love with Kristen Krug because of Smallville, obviously.
Amazing how much stuff Neil McDonald's been in.
Yeah. So, and dude, I love him. He's great, and he does a lot of like DC movies and shows. Like,
a bad guy and like everything. He's just there being a bad guy and stuff. And it feels like he's the same character in everything he's in.
Yeah, and he was so good in Legends of Tomorrow and Arrow.
Yeah,
like he was so good, especially in Legends of Tomorrow. He was just the best bad guy. Bad guy and then sometimes good guy, and he was an awesome character. And I think, and he does a lot of parts where, he's just a kind of a side character, but like you see him and you're like, I know who that is. He was Dum Dum Dugan in Captain America. Let's see what else. What else has he done? Done a lot of movies recently that I haven't seen.
Randomly in a ton of stuff.
Yeah. Damien Dark. That's who he played in the DC Arrowverse. Yeah, he's in so much. Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City. Didn't see that one.
I never watched it. And well, was that the newer one?
That was not the show. That was the movie.
The movie.
Yeah, that was the movie.
Never watched that, and like some people said it was good, and some people said that was shit.
No, I do have to watch that one because it looks like they actually tried to stay true to the games in that one.
I heard it was shit.
Yeah, I'm sure it was, but I'm gonna watch it anyways at some point.
I kind of don't want to watch it because I feel like I'll puke.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably watch it, but
has Robbie Amell in it.
It does have Robbie Amell in it. But yeah. So anyways, yeah. Love his character though. Neil McDonough was great. Huh?
He's in Angels in the Outfield. Did you know Angels in the Outfield and Rookie of the Year came out in the same year? Sorry, I ran a lot.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
What's crazy is when you look at his IMDb, and by the way, welcome to Spit Take, where we just sit here and read IMDb for you all day.
And we literally just say anything that is popping up in our heads.
Yeah.
And it's usually what's on IMDb.
Yeah. But he played the Green Arrow in the Superman Shazam Return of the Black Adam movie, which I saw and was good. He was voicing Green Arrow for some time. He was in DC Showcase Original Shorts. He was in the Green Arrow cartoon movie. Traitor, 3, Tin Man. Yeah, he's got a lot of good credits to his name.
That's what I'm saying. He's just randomly in a bunch of stuff, and like
he was in Sonic the Hedgehog.
But he's just like he's just like one of those guys where it's like we know him because we're nerds,
right?
Like casuals, just like I know him from something.
Yeah, but we know him as like that guy that we love seeing in different movies.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's awesome.
What's he in Sonic? I love Sonic. I really love those movies.
Yeah. I thought so. I haven't seen the second one. I saw the first one. I liked it.
I liked the second one.
Did you? Knuckles?
Good.
I mean, it was good enough. It got they're doing a third.
Schwartz does a great job as Sonic's voice.
I like Ben Schwartz.
Jim Carrey does a great job as Dr. Eggman.
But he's retired now, so I wonder what they're going to do with that.
They can move on to something else, can't they? Can't Knuckles be like the anti-hero in the next one or something?
Well, they're bringing in Shadow the Hedgehog.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I thought the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie was pretty good. I didn't hate it. I couldn't say that I loved it. I thought it was good though.
I love Sonic. I mean, I don't understand the purpose. Well, I guess if you want to make it a movie, make it a movie. But like, I don't understand the purpose of like making it in like human world.
Mm-hmm.
But it's it's good for what it is.
Yeah. Well, that was it. Is it kind of took a kind of leap into like a different thing, but it did work together really well. And James Marsden was good in it.
Yeah.
And I thought that what they had to work with and how to bring it to an audience that, might enjoy it, I thought they did pretty decently. And like some of it doesn't make any sense. Like, at one point he's running up and down buildings, and then later when they're like, oh, it's up on top of that, we have to sneak up to the top of the building. Why didn't he just run up the building?
But you know what made Sonic work? It was the fans complaining about how they made Sonic look like shit. And the fans were like, what are you doing? He looks like he's got an extra chromosome. And there was a big outcry. And all these turds said, oh, stop crying about a cartoon hedgehog. It's like, no, we like Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, people like me and you played Sonic the Hedgehog when we were kids, doing the code to get Golden Sonic and all that stuff. Like, I'd be playing Sonic and my friend be playing Tails, and we'd be playing the whole thing over and over and over again. I don't know how many times I beat Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic's got a special place in my heart, and so they're making a movie. Like, that's a big deal for me. Don't screw this up. And so it's like, and I think that really, like, after getting Sonic right, if you notice, maybe that's what like kicked off this, like, oh, let's get video game movies right.
Mm-hmm. And that was so great with the outcry that they actually went back and changed it. And they're like, we're going to delay the release of this movie so that we can fix this and do right by the fans.
They did it.
And I give that movie mad props, because no other studio would have done that shit.
Mm-hmm. They did it. And it worked.
And don't worry, Ugly Sonic got his time in the sun with Chip and Dale.
Yes, I remember that.
If you haven't seen Chip and Dale, it's basically the new generation of Roger Rabbit. It's cartoons in the real world, and they're actors and stuff like that. They even make several references to Roger Rabbit. He even shows up in the movie. But they Ugly Sonic comes in as a friend of Dale, and he's kind of a big part of the movie at points. But they bring him in, and he's talking about how he got fired from the Sonic movie. It was a fun nod to everything, and it was great. If you haven't seen the Chip and Dale movie, go watch that. It was so awesome. I love that movie.
Peter Pan's like this like bad guy douchebag in it. Like, he's great.
Yeah. So that's actually
who kind of voice.
I don't remember. So this is actually kind of a sad story. If you don't know what happened to the guy who
Will Arnett does his voice. That's right.
Yeah. Will Arnett does his voice. So it's actually kind of a sad story, because the kid who did Peter Pan's voice in the original cartoon, as he started getting older, studios were rejecting him, saying that he was getting ugly now and pimply and all this. And he ended up, I think he ended up killing himself. And so this was actually a nod to that story, where he grew up to be just kind of like, just went down this dark path, or he like overdosed on drugs. He did something like that, but he went down this like really dark path. And so this was actually a nod to what happened between him and his career. It's wild. Like, read the story. It's so crazy. Because I didn't realize that until I was reading the IMDb trivia while I was watching the movie, because that's what I do. And they were like talking about how that was a huge thing. So I was like, holy shit. I was like, that makes this even darker. So, but great movie overall. And J.K. Simmons plays the detective, the cartoon detective.
Yeah, and who's that actor that does Dale or Chip's voice, or not Chip, Dale's voice?
Andy Samberg.
No, the other one.
Oh. That was
that comedian.
Baby J.
Huh?
Yeah, Baby J.
Baby J.
Baby J is what he calls himself.
What's the guy's name?
Oh gosh, damn it, I don't know.
No, I want to promote him because his newest stand-up on Netflix was the funniest fucking thing, because he talks about
John Mulaney.
John Mulaney. I think it came out last year. He talks about his recovery from cocaine, and it's the funniest fucking thing I have ever heard. And I'm a drug counselor, And I was laughing so hard, my stomach was in pain. I highly recommend watching John Mulaney's cocaine recovery stand up. He's talking about when they do an intervention on him. He has the funniest people in the world looking at him. He's trying to make a joke, and the funniest people in the world just give him the serious look, like no one's laughing at it. And he's trying to get everybody to turn against the interventionist. He's trying to get everybody to turn against.
It was. I saw that one. It was good. It was good.
But
It was.
if you haven't seen him, and he just talks about, and it's funny because that's like he talks about how twisted his brain is on addiction, but like that's really how addiction really twists your brain, and he realizes how twisted your brain is when you are addicted to drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
Right. It is that when you can make fun of yourself like that, it's just so good.
When he tells that story, it's so funny. He's like talking about how he's like an hour late. He's like, yes. He's like, I showed up late to my intervention, and he's like, because I was out buying drugs.
I was like, I don't think when I was watching that, it's probably been years since I laughed that hard.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I laughed that hard since.
It's good. The comedy special is called John Mulaney, Baby J.
Okay.
That's what it was. That's where I was getting the Baby J from.
Okay.
But yeah, excellent show. I think it's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, give it a watch if you're a big fan of watching stand-up comedy. He's hilarious. He's been doing a lot of work, cartoon voices and everything. Like we just mentioned, Chip and Dale. He also was Spider Pig.
Yeah.
Or Peter Porker in the new Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, yeah, Spider Pig was
Spider Pig.
Oh man. But yeah,
it's a half an hour though.
I think we made it past a half an hour. Separately, the part where I said this is going to be a short one because I'm fucking wrong.
I think we're doing longer than we usually do, to tell you the truth.
Well, that's going to do it for us today. Please make sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, as we mentioned in the beginning of the episode, at Spit Takers. We would love to have your guys' support. Make sure you subscribe to our Spotify, iHeartRadio, so that you can catch our newest episodes that release every Friday. And we hope that you guys enjoyed listening to us rant and talk a little bit. And we're hoping we'll see you next time.
Level up, guys!